We've had 2 bans already. There's an IO ban from Fnatic and a bounty from Newbee.
Carbon copy so far, and this is Newbee is almost going to always ban one invis hero in the first stage just because of they want the option to do what they did in the last game with that greedy jungler. And Fnatic, of course, you can't argue with denying the Wisp and the Phoenix.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about the Darkseer ban because it's not been that effective in a lot of the games that we've had. Throughout the main stage and in the group stage, actually.
Yeah, but it's more like a playstyle thing because Darkseer is an offlane that pressures your lane a lot, and like I mentioned time and time again, Fnatic wants to win the lanes. They want to do well early, and Darkseer combined with a roaming hero, Tusk, whatever, like Earth Spirit, can be very, very hard to deal with.
We do have a change-up now, though. Usually we see the teams stick with their side and their pick order, but now we do see
first pick. I think the teams prioritize first pick here, like probably most likely. Both, it was Fnatic on, was it on Radiant? Yeah, they first picked Earth Spirit the last game.
So now it's going the other way.
Are you sure we've got the teams the right way round, or whether they're on the right part of the screen? Yeah, it is exactly the same first pick, but this time round it's for Newbee.
And you can't, again,
Beastmaster.
We've talked about his Phoenix, but let's not forget what Kaka was able to do with Earth Spirit playing on Eho.
Yep.
He absolutely destroyed MDL. It was one of the most dominant single tournament performances by a single hero ever.
Do you think they should, so Fnatic, do you think they should just take the pitch out of Newbee? And yeah, Beastmaster Lifestealer? Yeah. It's probably the most appropriate.
Have to.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why not. I don't know if...
But is that not falling into the trap, do you feel like? When did you feel like Newbee are just saying, go on in? Instead you did what we just did.
I'm not 100% convinced that this is Lifestealer. Fnatic have shown it. Fnatic have been...
Do they have any choice, though, Alan? They're going to pick it otherwise.
First phase before, though.
Disruptor,
then they give Newbee,
Disruptor too.
Disruptor's extremely good versus Earth Spirit as well, but they do go for
the Venge.
So auras.
But that gives Newbee the boost.
Dire Side auras.
Dire Side auras.
Lycan, Drow, Ursa type of lineup. Something that use Roshan. But then again, going back to the Earth Spirit pick, I know Alan loves to talk about the Phoenix on Kaka, but then again, on this hero on Kaka means that it opens up much more possibilities for the team because you can actually roam and pressure a lot more. Phoenix is a team fight specialist, so he can't really pressure the lanes as much. So this pick actually allows, I think, Newbee to do much better in the laning phase against Fnatic. I think that's extremely important on Newbee's part.
And I like the fact that this gives you at least the option of putting Chuan on something a little greedier if you want to. I don't necessarily think we'll see a Chuan Enchantress here, but their 2 supports are completely comfortable switching off who's the 4 and who's the 5 in any particular game.
Yeah, it depends on who needs a specific item, who needs the farm more. Like maybe if they have Earth Spirit, Lion, they would prioritize on more on giving Chuan.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the Lifestealer.
So the Lifestealer again for Newbee. Very flexible pick for them because they've already shown that they can play Lifestealer offlane.
But Beastmaster and Venge are pretty solid versus Lifestealer.
Very solid. But then again, it might be just an offlane Lifestealer. Then you're using up so many heroes to just deal with Lifestealer.
Yeah.
If it's not a safe lane call.
And I really like the Earth Spirit with the Lifestealer because, of course, he gives him the the vehicle which he needs, and also it's a ton of magic damage. If you get right in the middle of them with the infest with all those spells, it's an immense amount of damage right away.
I really like that Alchemist ban. Moo Alchemist, I believe, has been over 1k GPM 4 out of the last 7 times he's played the hero. Just scales ridiculously.
Yeah, it's also very very disruptive if you're playing a push strat and you have to deal with acid spray because Venge Beastmaster, there's a very high chance that they want to do a push strat. Maybe with Medusa or something. We've seen their strat before, Medusa plus TV.
I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Newbee actually ban the Medusa here. It's a little bit weird maybe on the Dire side, but with the auras and everything, it's extremely good versus
There's still Lycan, but I don't think Fnatic ever played Lycan. Right? Paul, they've never picked the hero, right? Paul?
Which one?
Fnatic have never picked Lycan in this event.
No, they have not.
Not that I'm aware of. No, certainly not in this event.
Their push strats is just basically Medusa or Terrorblade.
That's the thing, though.
I've only picked the Terrorblade once.
The Beastmaster Venge Open is a lot more flexible. I agree that there's a good chance that Fnatic will go for push here, but the Beastmaster Venge Open is a lot more flexible. I think you can. Those 2 heroes both scale extraordinarily well. I think you can do a lot with that, other than just a straight push strat.
So they have picked Lycan twice, but it was 2 months ago, and they did win both.
2 months ago. Okay.
2 months ago.
That's a reasonable time.
It took years in Dota, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But not too...
I mean, it definitely fits the type of lineup they are building right now with the Venge Beastmaster, and Liquid have shown how strong the Lycan can be, like with the Beastmaster.
Yeah,
they do ban out the Medusa. So these 2 heroes are just incredibly good versus Lifestealer, and Fnatic have, they kind of showed their hand in yesterday when they were playing with those two heroes.
I mean, they still have Bench and Beastmaster.
Yep.
Those two heroes are still really good versus Lifesteal.
Absolutely.
So not getting the Medusa, it's not that great for them, but I definitely think they still have the tools to deal with Lifesteal.
And any other team I would be thinking about a Drow strat, but Fnatic just have not shown that look in quite some time.
Reserve time.
Certainly not in this
Played a
match.
lot of Batrider as well, and that's been left alone this time.
Yeah, and Fnatic also runs the greedy Beastmaster jungling, but it was on 3-4-3. So I don't know if when they swap DJ back to position 4, do they still do it?
So
Yeah, there's the Slark. They had been picking
think
that hero first phase.
I really like. Maybe it's not so good with the Earth Spirit, but if they have Ricky on Newbee, I think it could be really quite potent. I know the Earth Spirit and the Ricky supports could be very questionable, but an infested Lifestealer versus like Beastmaster and Slark inside of a Ricky Morrow could be quite devastating if they decide to go for something like
So
that.
now probably the Lion or Disruptor for them. Like Disruptor probably better, a little better.
Much more likely.
Because of the Slug. You can actually lock him down much better. But those are the two heroes they usually put on Chuan.
Yeah, they have picked Lich with Earth Spirit before in this draft or in this tournament with the pretty much the exact same lineup. But
Then you don't have lockdown.
Then they have no
Slark.
lockdown for the Slark. Yeah, I think the Lion's probably the most appropriate.
Yeah.
Lion or Disruptor?
Lion or Disruptor.
Maybe I would favor Disruptor a bit more because it's easier for Disruptor to catch Slug. Lion is probably a bit harder before you get your blink.
I think for another team that'd be absolutely right. For this particular team, I think Chuan's Lion is a lot stronger than its Disruptor.
Either way, they're gonna have to go. I think with one of those two. Probably.
Oh,
New hero.
This
We've been waiting for Chuan to pick
we
it
have
too.
we have been waiting for the lineup. We did expect it to come out from Newbee. We did speak
Is
about it
this a
earlier on
support?
today, and
Is
it
this
is.
a support Lina?
And it is the
Probably
first
support.
pick of the tournament as well.
Definitely Chuan's hero here.
Yeah.
And instantly a Furion pick in response.
We're up to 94.
We're up to
Man.
94. Oh,
Unbelievable.
man.
I mean, what's the reason of the Lina? I guess they just want more AoE against Slug because you want to be able to stun him when he's in Shadow Dance or whatever. But I don't know, like
He really likes the hero.
if Lina is support here, what he provides for the team.
5 seconds.
Well, remember it was last year, right, going into TI that Zhao 8 sort of pushed the support Lina back into the meta as a part of those team fight combos that were very easy to execute.
And you know,
Greedy support. Yeah.
we're really jumping on the Lina support, but this also does leave their options open. This
Right.
still could be Moo on the Lina. We have seen him play it. I think it was like maybe not even 2 weeks ago when they were playing in not sure which league it was. I think it was the Dota 2 Professional League. Yeah.
And again, we talked about the idea of Lion as the control and burst damage for the Slark. You get that Lagoon. Oh, here we go. Man, KP Naga Siren, this is actually... The way he plays this hero is disgusting. It's
Yeah,
so good.
he's from C. Like most of the C, like he's a carry from C. Most of the carries play Naga Siren.
Yeah.
Yep.
They all do, it seems.
Everyone learns from Miracle from C.
And you saw that, right, in the previous game. I thought that observation proved to be so on point that KP, he's comfortable, obviously, playing in this offlane style where he's the primary initiator, but you saw him play greedier last game, and he's obviously totally comfortable in that role as well. It just gives you so many options in terms of do we want to win at 30 minutes or do we want to win at 50?
Now the Lina makes more sense because they wanted to have a support / maybe mid that has more D push.
Yeah.
Because when you have a Naga Siren lineup, you want to push the waves out, you want to delay the game, you want to split the map.
I really like the Naga too versus like Beastmaster and Slark. Maybe not in the early game using your sleep in that manner, but when Shadow Dance is popped or when Beastmaster roars somebody, you're able to just kind of save them or lock down that Slark in a manner. You just pop your sleep, wait for the stun or the Shadow Dance to wear off, and then you have not a perfect setup, but it is a setup in a manner.
So what are our lanes here? Do we think this is now going to go back to a How lifestealer?
I think I think he's
KP
gonna
Naga?
play the
more than likely.
he's gonna play the lifestealer. KP is definitely gonna play the Naga. And the Lina is still a question mark. Might be mid, might be support.
Fnatic thinks that it's 100% a support right now. They banned out the Batrider.
Maybe they want to do like some lifesteal, like lifesteal Lina lanes are quite old school. Like it's a very old school dual lane.
Yeah.
They might do this 2 heroes on the off lane and Earth Spirit like roaming. I'm not sure. But either way, I think the last time I saw them actually run the Naga lineup, they actually left the Naga to 1v1 in the safe lane. So they didn't give him too much support.
Yeah, a measure of how much Moo's Batrider is respected.
Just look at that.
Even with
just
the
look
bench
at their
spirit.
last ban. as
Ban
well.
the Pugna.
Yeah, they were worried about Fnatic playing too fast of a pace of the game. So the Naga can't get online, so they're banning out the Pugna.
And Pugna is extremely good versus Naga later on this stage
Yeah,
of the
the
game.
life drain.
Yeah,
Remote
life drain just
illusion.
instantly killing illusions.
That's the first ban on the Pugna in this tournament, by the way. Not picked either.
Yep, so NewBee most likely need maybe more D push, so they can actually continuously prolong the game.
There we go. There we go.
I hope that's the Quaspex Invoker though, so they can actually defend against the pushes. I would actually prefer that over the Exalt Invoker this game, for NewBee's lineup, just because they have the Naga.
Yeah, and Moo was completely comfortable playing both styles of Invoker. Man.
So for,
what do you pick here as Fnatic?
So Beastmaster is a greedy support. I will not expect Mushi to be playing that hero, so most likely a greedy support. Slug safe lane.
What did they play as for the Invoker when they played? Because they had, this is when they had the KPI Naga, they had Moo playing the Invoker as well in that game. So I don't really recall. I think he may have played Exort in that game.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm looking at the draft, but it's still up in, I'm not too sure just looking at that.
I think they're gonna. I really do think that they're gonna have enough control of tempo in the early game with the Earth Spirit and Lina both roaming around that they'll be able to get away with Exort Invoker if they want to. It'll depend a little bit on this last pick, but.
I do like it as Quaswex though in this game, like Winter was saying.
Yeah.
It's very good versus their heroes.
It's a good idea.
Everything.
It's just a function of this team, this particular team, and what they like to do.
Mushi's gonna play some weird hero. I've got a feeling.
Spectre?
Some weird here.
Yeah, something weird maybe.
Conker?
He wants to push.
Yeah. Oh
TA.
man.
Okay.
The old TA Invoker matchup.
Invoker
We've seen
matchup.
this before today, guys.
Yep, we have.
These drafts look very very old school, you could say.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'll take Newbee though. I've got to.
Okay. Winter?
I'll just take Fnatic.
Stick with Fnatic.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Newbee as well.
Alright, okay. Thank you to all three of our panelists. We will get more from them, of course, after our second game of the day. Is this the end of the day and the end of the line for Fnatic in the upper bracket? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team of Gods and Toby1.
Well, it seems to kind of want to end the day. They're all backing Newbee at the moment, but I'm sitting here enjoying Fnatic's draft.
We won a game 3, Toby. You talked about it. You wanted the TA 5th. It came. You got your Templar Assassin.
I was sitting there. Can say I called it. He can back me up. Let's go to the game and let's see how it's all going to turn out here in game 2. Well, welcome to the game, and welcome probably to a potential team fight, as we're already going to get into it. Game number 2 of Newbee versus Fnatic, as Fnatic have aggressively invaded into Newbee's jungle. They're looking for Hal, dropping him down low, but not low enough. So this will allow each team to say at least a good howdy doody to each other down the Radiant jungle.
Very close to catching the Tron Lina there. There's a player-hero combo we haven't seen in a little while, but something that Newbee will pull out every now and then. The big story of this draft, when I look at Newbee, though, is the KP Naga. This is the pesky hero. They're such a versatile team in that they can swap around, like, who's really playing the carry. We saw KP play a very farm-intensive lifesteal last game. He's going to play another farm-intensive hero here. But then another game, you'll see KP, like, one of the least farmed heroes in the game on, like, a Batrider or something.
Yep.
So.
But he plays the different roles, because when he does it, like, with the lifesteal, we saw him becoming actually really efficient. But with his Naga Siren, he takes a lot of the farm. They actually run him more as, I don't want to say a second position, I almost want to say on one position with the way KP approaches it.
It's safe lane, so...
Yeah. It's just the fact it shows, and this is what I kind of touched on a little bit during game number 1, it's the diversity of Naga, of KP himself, even though he doesn't play a Beastmaster. He's still able to play like a huge diverse range of heroes, but not just like the choices of heroes, but it's the roles of the heroes and the way they approach the game. Big team fight control is normally the big critical part of him. That's why he has the Tidehunters. In this case, it's the Song of the Siren and the Naga Siren. The mid one and DJ, they do not want to give KP space to get his farm up and running.
And that's the beauty of a team like this. Hao is never really... He's always wanted to play the aggressive carry, so any team with Hao has never really had the ability to draft into Naga Siren, Anti-Mage. I mean, Anti-Mage is something that Hao does play, but he doesn't like to play, but when you've got KP and you can swap the roles like this,
top lane,
it really helps.
Ohio initiated on by the Boulder of Karka, and Hao, he has open wounds, but he kind of got body blocked up, so he couldn't get in range of Ohio to really follow up further.
Yeah, it was a nice body block coming out from him. 343 is going to be playing that jungle Beastmaster uncontested, which is kind of the good news for the Fnatic laning stage. And this is kind of looking like a overall solid laning setup for Fnatic, something that really you have to have when you're versing a Naga Siren.
Yeah, they needed something like this. They also need to have a good progression. We were talking about the TA as the 5th pickup, primarily because we're looking for some burst damage. We're looking for someone that can at least add some pressure onto the cores and have an advantage just by being a better hero as far as like going against the hero directly. But it's also the fact you got a Nature's Prophet going with a Beastmaster and a VS, and then you add a TA. It's very easy for Fnatic to slip themselves into Roshan and take him out and then look for a bigger objective after that. All they need to do is find some easy, secure levels. You're getting that from the Beastmaster inside the jungle, and the Nature's Prophet is boost first from real higher. He's understanding you back out, you hold your range, you find your levels, and you try and get, well, as much as you possibly can until that perfect timing.
Yeah, and you've put together this draft similar to what NewBee had last game, which punishes very heavily.
Chuan, stun on bottom lane, mid one looking for the leash, able to claim it as well. Chuan gets the stun, but still going to be the first blood, going the way of mid one. The bottom lane works for Fnatic.
Nice early pickup, and Fnatic, any kind of early game advantage, talking about how they punish newbie mistakes, is that you push very fast. Later on, if you can get a good early game, looking at Venge, Beastmaster, and your ability to take towers, take Roshan from the dire side. TA, not an amazing high ground siege, but with an Aegis and a Deso plus BKB, you're ready to kind of break high ground with any sort of a kill or a pickoff.
I'm going to keep my eyes a little bit closer on this Beastmaster movement. He went and put down an Observer Ward, which will at least scout out the movement of Karka, not to mention his own Hawk. So he understands the Earth Spirit's going to invade over into his jungle about now.
And also understands there's a Sunstrike that can come at him anytime. So Earth Spirit finding him alone is never just an Earth Spirit when a Sunstrike can be thrown.
Yeah, unless Mushi can keep the pressure on Mu and keep him looking behind himself the entire time. Making sure you don't just get that simple combination. And 343 just bailed. He just went to the bottom lane small camp.
Yeah, it's not going to be quite the same farming efficiency we saw out of Kaka last game on the jungle Beastmaster, but that's because of the slight pressure coming out. But it's still a very good jungle pace coming for Beastmaster.
Okay. Kaka still waiting for the perfect time. Thanks to the Hawk, Mushi will not be caught.
Yeah, I don't think
he's running his bottle now too, so Refraction Mana is back again for him.
Yeah, he'll solo smoke very close to the Hawk there. He's headed back top.
Well, maybe he can find the opening on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I think he was just out of range of the Hawk when he smoked, so this may actually work.
He's going to do a pull through with one of the small little treants. So the creep wave being dragged down as well is not going to help Karka, but Hao just makes a run for it. There goes your open wounds, Boulder straight after it, and Ohio in a hell of a lot of trouble. He can't escape from this one with a follow-up kick. Hao will be able to bring down Ohio's Nature's Prophet.
Great play holding the stun on Earth Spirit, waiting for that TP. Meanwhile, bottom.
Mid one's just playing around here. He definitely knows he can't find the kill if KP... I thought KP may even get one value point up in Ensnare, so he's able to get the combo with Chuan. But it doesn't happen. In fact, DJ...
He's held a skill point,
so
so
he doesn't know. Chuan doesn't know. The magic missile stun's going to come in. Mid one wants to pounce forward. KP blocked him out a little bit. The pound still arrives. And Ohio is there. Mid one dropping low. The tower will actually find the kill, so it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Meanwhile, over in the mid lane, it was Karka and Mu teaming up together at Mushi's TA will fall.
Oh, that's really bad exchange for Fnatic. Losing the Slack at bottom, he was just in tower range, and the kill more importantly on mid lane for the Invoker, giving him the edge over Mushi, who was outlast hitting him by a decent margin, but you get a kill like that, suddenly Mu is in much better shape. And this was a laning stage, which was overall going very well for Fnatic. You look at the CSs, and you've got 4 core heroes all doing pretty well. I kind of talk about the Beastmaster jungle as a core, because that's exactly what this hero is, as we saw last game. But Hao has just wrecked this top lane. He is top CS by a huge margin, and he's about to take a T1 tower very early on, or at least get it very low. Doesn't quite get to deny range, which is actually a nice bit of calculation from him.
Being a full 20 CS behind mid one, like that's just big for Hao. It's so big for him. As long as he can keep that momentum up with a 1 kill, it shouldn't be that difficult to do. And 343 doesn't have his level 6 yet, so he doesn't want to be involved. Mid one's trying to get a little bit aggressive on KP on the bottom, at least dropping him down to half-life. But because they're basically bottle ferrying, Chuan, when he TP'd in, gave like KP all of his fresh charges as well, the bottle. Like, NewBee have so much sustain on their safe lane. It makes it very difficult for Fnatic just to come in, just do a quick hit and run, then bail out.
And now they've got enough levels on the Lina that any kind of aggression can be punished just by these level 2 nukes doing a decent amount of damage. So you could be very careful about how you initiate here. The Nature's Prophet backup is with the Wrath of Nature.
Mid one, he kind of wants this. DJ's around the corner for it.
Yeah. They want to fight with the NP TP in Wrath of Nature. It's very deadly at this stage.
But Newbee also understand what's coming at them with the Observer and the 2 sentries to the side. Like, there's no invis maneuver, there's no easy rotate off from that mid laner to try and attack onto the bottom lane without KP or Chorn having some prior warning about it. But mid one's still on top of the Observer ward, and he's not level 6 yet, so he doesn't have that easy, hey guys, I'm under an Observer ward kind of detection.
And Kaka now keeping in mid with Sentry, so Mushi's going to play very cautiously to stay alive against this kind of gank.
Unless if Kaka can get the ball off. Mu already starts with the Forge Spirit, so...
We'll look for the roll when he goes
Here
for
it
last
comes.
hit.
There's the roll, but Mushi, he's going to dodge it. Unable to steer away from Kaka. And there's a smoke maneuver coming in from 3-4-3.
Yeah, good timing, has Raw now. Bit late than maybe you sometimes see, but he's ready to get aggressive. And if Newbee haven't kind of caught wind of him being level 6, if they haven't checked the scoreboard recently, this may be a big kill. And potentially a tower follow-up onto this bottom lane.
Well, Sean, you're far enough back that he's exposed. 3-4-3 doesn't want to let the Raw go for this. And if you can at least hold on to it, then it will dissuade Newbee from coming in close. DJ, there it is. The stun from the trees. Ohio will arrive. They actually do commit the Raw to kill off Sean and then instantly into the tier 1 tower. Fnatic trying to claim as much as they possibly can, but the trade-off is still going to be their own tier 1 tower up on top. How is already pushing this. The fortification has to be burnt from both sides. So it is still a kill and a tier 1 for both sides.
Yeah, and how was that top tier 1 tower was already dead to rights, so there was nothing Fnatic could really do to stop it. But the pick at bottom, securing what was a much healthier tier 1 tower. Still a good exchange for Fnatic, and they even things up a little bit. But how getting the money up top? Actually, it looks like maybe he didn't get the last hit, but even so, he's so far ahead in terms of overall farm. It's scary right now.
Maybe this is the time though where you start to say like what tower is more valuable. Like Fnatic can remove that tier 1 tower on bot. If you can remove the tier 1 tower on mid, they can just keep slipping themselves inside of Roshan and grabbing it without Newbee having an easy way to bring in more support. Even if they do have a Song of the Siren, which is a bit perilous for Fnatic to Rosh under.
Yeah, for Fnatic it's probably a little bit more valuable. You mentioned the Roshan and also just controlling the enemy jungle. It's probably more useful for Fnatic to be able to do it because it slows down the Naga Siren farm. Naga's a hero who relies heavily on the neutrals to get that radiance, whereas Fnatic don't need their jungle as much. They've already gotten the Beastmaster's level 6 timing out of their jungle. They're actually quite okay to be the ones playing aggressive and taking over the enemy jungle without really caring too much about their own. Top lane, Ohio in trouble.
Yeah, that Sunstrike right on the mark. Ohio underneath the tier 2 tower. How's able to find the kill. DJ got an extra stun with the Wave of Terror. How actually starts his TP and cancels it, thinking he can kill off DJ. That doesn't happen. In fact, now Howard just strands himself up on top lane with not a hell of a lot of life. Sean's also hovering around this jungle. That's maybe a little bit too greedy for him to try and bring down the ball with mid one on patrol. But mid one also having trouble closing that distance at the moment.
Yeah, Fnatic, they can't really let Newbee just sit back and farm now. They've got mid one. It's kind of in this awkward position where you're a Slark, you want to farm, you need that initiation item, be it the Shadow Blade or the Blink before you can fight and create space, but it's so tricky for him to pressure a Naga Siren. This is a Naga who's just been getting enough room to kind of build towards that Radiance, and with how as scary as he is, once he hits that armlet, he's just going to be able to fight his way through the Fnatic draft, and with a lifestealer this strong, Naga Siren's going to have all the space in the world to farm up Radiance.
Yeah. That's almost the time when you say to Slark, hey, you come in, you're more of a sponge than anything else. You let Mushi do the work as that Templar Assassin, like they're about to up on top lane. Won't be with Mushi, but with the Raw, DJ with the stun, the Wrath of Nature, Ohio able to help the team up to get that kill. So easy pick off over on the top lane Earth Spirit, and Mushi instantly adds the pressure into the mid lane as well.
Yeah, this is, if you can get those pickoffs, transition to towers, suddenly that farm advantage on the Lifestealer will be somewhat negated. TA and Slark, you can already see it's starting to catch up a bit. And all it's going to take is like another tier 1 tower or Roshan, and it's going to be Fnatic actually pulling ahead. And they've got the lineup that can set tempo, play very fast right now. Newbee have to kind of play very reactionary and
Here they
say,
come. They're coming up with the smoke. That's an infest inside the Earth Spirit. The Boulder forward. They're able to Delta split right now. 3-4-3, however, will still be caught out. The Sunstrike will connect over on him, but it's KP in the jungle who finds Nature's Prophet just to the west of that tier 1 tower. So 2 heroes lost from Fnatic, a heavy committal of heroes from Newbee. So they're straight back into the lanes.
Yeah, that's a great little surprise play. They even bring KP in, something you don't see a lot of Naga Siren teams doing, and that's perhaps what catches Fnatic most by surprise there. The Naga just running in the front lines. They're like, oh, well, we can't really fight all 4 or 5 of these heroes. Let's get the hell out of here. And by then,
mid lane,
already
Mushi gonna get kicked right now. Way too close to that tier 1 tower. How will arrive too? And again, Newbee in force. 4 men versus Mushi. We're able to kill him underneath the tier 1 tower. Mid one's trying to find some revenge on KP. Song of the Siren will be used. There's no one coming in close towards him, and he cannot TP out. The nearest one was actually the Vengeful Spirit, but she was too busy taking care of the Observer wards. So KP will burn the Song of the Siren. It's a long cooldown for him, but he stays alive.
Yeah, Fnatic just not really respecting the pick-off potential of Newbee. They're way too split up at this stage of the game, considering they're the ones who have the fast-paced lineup. They can push towers, they can find pickups using Raw, the Venge, they've got these dual auras. They shouldn't be as split apart as they are. Having Mushi solo pushing mid, having 2 heroes up top, the Nature's Prophet Beastmaster trying to push. This is something that's playing into Newbee's hands, allowing them to find these kills.
Like how Newbee actually used their scan just then. They're looking towards the Roshan for Fnatic. If they're feeling like Fnatic is falling a little bit behind, or they want to play catch-up, they can just slip themselves inside the pit, sending the forward spirits. They don't want Fnatic to have any level of advantage in this game. And with Song of the Siren down, you've got to feel more inclined that it's safe to do it from Fnatic. But they're going to smoke up. 3-4-3. Walking around with that Roar in combination with DJ, they should be able to catch out most heroes, especially with the help of mid one, and they have Wrath of Nature from Nature's Prophet available too.
And it would be a great pickup at this point in the game. Not the most farm Newbee hero, but
the Hawk gives them the vision. DJ just runs in, swap him out, Wave of Terror, Raw to start with. You're going to follow up from the Magic Missile, move, not going to go anywhere. The last hit from Ohio will bring it down. They instantly want to add the pressure towards the tier 1 tower, but how? He's here on the front lines with a boulder forward. You're going to have Kaka with a great kick. Can he control up even more? Mushi is dropping down. The damage on Kaka, it's going to be enough. The Agency, well actually, yep, you're there. They run up to DJ. A little bit further down, the stun's on Hal, 3-4-3. Still trying to get out of here. Ohio tried to actually block him out with a Sprout. It's not going to work, however. And that's going to be both TA as well as Beastmaster going down.
A lot of what I kind of mentioned earlier, how at this stage, as farmed as he is, being so far ahead means he can just take all these fights. He's not really too worried. There isn't great ability for Fnatic to stop the armlet toggle. Doesn't even need to armlet toggle in most of these fights. He's 5-0-2 now. He's just a complete beast. And KP also, I really like that he's kind of just showing up to these fights, bringing his illusions. Even just an illusion with a Riptide amplifies that lifestealer damage with the minus armor. And Fnatic just being a bit too over-aggressive underneath these towers. They need to find the picks, back off, and then focus on taking the objectives, not diving too deep into Newbee.
It's one of the big objectives too, like Mushi getting items. You're a 0-3 Templar Assassin with no Desolator. We were looking at her to be the primary one to battle against Hal, but it's like the timing just isn't right. So life is hard, at least for Fnatic at the moment. They're definitely falling behind in golden experience. Not a huge deficit, but it's still a problem for them.
They still have that jungle farm advantage, and that's where, yeah, your top cores aren't as fun as you'd like them to be.
Middle lane, they go in again. Mushi's in a hell of a lot of trouble. The Sunstrike hits perfectly. Fnatic, they don't want to actually stop here. They rotate it over. Mid one using that Shadow Blade, trying to close the distance, but the sentry wards are down, and he realizes he's very, very visible.
Mushi's kind of KDA says it all right now. 0-4. At this stage of the game is just not what you'd like from your mid-TA player. He's farmed well, like his actual laning's gone alright. This was a great game to be a TA. You've got a laning advantage over Invoker, but he's just been ganked time and time again. This Earth Spirit has just made his life miserable.
He really has. He really has. The fact you've also managed to find levels with such heavy rotations too. It's big props to Kaka for just being everywhere he needs to be. And Fnatic, they have to find something that stems the bleeding. Especially over on Mushi. Yeah. He cannot be this way, and he's actually going to build defensively to start with. So he's going straight into what appears to be a BKB. If we assume that's what the Ogre Club does.
Yeah, possibly see a fast Roshan from Fnatic. They can do this even without a Desolator on Mushi, just by the meld and the Venge Beastmaster auras. Nature's Prophet Treants help as well, so they've got a draft that can kill Roche very quickly, and that may just be something they try and take a risk and go for at this stage.
They kind of have to. So they at least have some bigger advantage. Chuan right on top of that Dire Observer Ward. And allowing mid one just to scutter himself in. Unfortunately for mid one, Chuan reads the action coming.
Yeah, he walked past the sentry as well. He had a millisecond of vision there, so did see mid one rotating in. And Fnatic still haven't been able to take this T1 mid tower. I feel like that's an objective they just need to prioritize taking out. They're bringing in a high to try and ensure it goes down, but this
Kaka,
is
look
not
for the
easy.
infest play. Kaka currently has a life stealer inside of him. Chuan will arrive, able just to wave down the Hawk, which was watching the movement coming in from Newbee. But Fnatic take the T1 tower, and this is what they wanted. T1 tower lost in mid and bottom. Now you can go Roshan and feel a lot more secure, but Song of the Siren is available.
There's a good safe push from Fnatic. KP not in the neighborhood. If they see him up top, they're likely going to risk this anyway. They protect themselves with a Radiant scan, actually. Newbee not really reading this Roche going down, or perhaps just kind of accepting their fate that, hey, against this minus armor draft, we can't actually contest Roche, which is probably fairly accurate. As Fnatic secure themselves an Aegis on mid one Slack.
So Fnatic, you have an extra life on the Slack. Means you can be a little bit more aggressive. Running around with the Shadow Blade, Newbee maybe not going to be finding the greatest trade-off as far as abilities go if they want to kill off that Slack. We talked about him being a sponge previously. And this could be the same kind of case. Newbee just have to commit so much to try and control the Slack that just doesn't work if he can Shadow Dance.
Oh, there's the KP Radiance, 17.5 minutes in. Not missing his timing whatsoever, and Fnatic have to be very scared when they see this item pick up. You've got 3 cores on Newbee's side, all very farm. Lifestealer and Invoker have all the items they need. You've got the Midas such that your Invoker can keep up and scale well into the late game as well, so Fnatic just haven't found the pickoffs they'd hoped for. The Slack went for the fast Shadow Blade, and a lot of his rotations have just been all scouted out by the sentry wards and the vision that Newbee have kept up and maintained, and as a result, Fnatic have been set back.
Also, Mushi wants to get on the front foot, picks up a Blink Dagger. Now on the Templar Assassin, so the Ogre Club is purely casually there. So he can keep up with the rest of his team. You get the Maelstrom now, also completed on Ohio. So the split push from Fnatic can be a lot more real. Newbee's still in, by far, the strongest position. They got so much deep push, you've still got great burst damage combinations, you got ways to close the distance with a Life Stealer, and they may need to use these abilities right now as the T1 tower comes under a little bit of pressure. The Necro units from Fnatic reaching the tower.
Yeah, we're talking about a draft that has a Naga Siren who just picked up Radiant and an Invoker.
He's running in from the side, blinks forward, he's got himself a Haste Rune, and with that, Newbee will probably not want to come anywhere near Fnatic. This makes almost like a big enough of a buff that the Newbee will not initiate in, but it guarantees the tier 1 tower goes the way of Fnatic without a big trade-off. KP's attempting it, he's pushing in that bottom lane, looking to force some kind of reaction, and he does get one from DJ, but that's going to be all.
Well, I'm not entirely sold Fnatic are getting a whole lot right now with this Aegis. They need to probably go for some kind of aggressive smoke or some initiation onto Newbee, but it's Newbee coming at them first.
Here's the Infest again. 3-4-3s on the run, more supports there from Chuan. They're all smoked up, trying to close the distance, and with the boulder forward, 3-4-3, there's just silence mid one. Will he actually try and help me? She gets kicked by the Earth Spirit, still hidden by the Shadow Blade. So he'll pounce, he'll jump, he wants Chuan, and then Mushi, the big strike, able to find the kill. Makes a 1-for-1 trade-off, but you're still taking a Beastmaster for Alina.
Yeah, it's not the best for Fnatic, and this is all while they've got Aegis too. They're not really controlling the pace of this game. Mid one finding what kills he can, but it's really just a small consolation prize when you kill Twine in that situation.
This is not the dream for DJ either. He may even, like, if he's not careful when these Naga illusions chase him down, he was busy pulling the Ancients, so he was taking damage from that too. If he gets hit by Riptide, he's practically dead.
Well, and the Naga Invoker is one of those horrible, miserable duos to play against as a support, because if an illusion with Radiance is on you Riptiding, then the Sunstrike threat is there, so you can never really feel too safe as a support.
Well, they're going to batten down the hatches. Right now, it is all about KP. He's the #1 net worth. We don't say he plays #1 position, even though he's normally listed as the 3 from Newbee. But he has the highest net worth on the field. just in front of Hao.
And Hao's not too worried about having to itemize towards single target DPS. He gets an SMY bottom lane. Illusion's being caught, but it's more important that Fnatic are grouped up, looking to push, take objectives. They've got a minute left on this Aegis. They make it a tier 2 tower, but it's always coming kind of in exchange for something else elsewhere on the map, and it's Newbee going to be doing some damage to
Maybe
tier
they
2
just keep
themselves.
going then. Like, you force Newbee to properly react to you. Not this tier 2 tower, while you push it, we push it, yay. Like, you just keep going. You've got Necro books available. You've probably got maybe 30 seconds left over on this Aegis Immortal. As now, yep, they come. They're looking towards the tier 3 tower. They're at least brought all of Newbee back, and now, okay, they say that's enough. They force reaction out from Newbee with the defensive TPs. They go back to trying to control up the lanes.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. It's less like, okay, we're actually going to be able to break your high ground. It's more, let's force Naga to TP home, because you don't want the Naga staying in your jungle and staying on the top side of the map.
Dire's middle tower.
Smooth. Boulder forward right now. It's Kaka again with friend in tow, TJ. Oh, he barely is hiding in the tree line. He knows it, and Kaka knows it. The stun will come out. Hao's there, but the roar's over on Hao. Mid one pounces. He's looking for the kill over on Shaw before the burst damage can be there. Mid one's so low. The Aegis, the Immortal will actually pop. DJ's in trouble being magnetized up, trying to swap himself away to safety. Now mid one locked inside the ice wall. He needs a ticket to freedom. He hasn't found one just yet. The Song of the Siren triggers mid one. He pounces. He's waiting. He's currently sleeping. And then inside the Silver Edge, wants to run. He's not actually dusted up. He'll just run north. Mid one wants to get away with this. He's healing up quickly, so maybe he can even counter initiate. Looking towards Moo. Goes for the pound. Moo needs a couple more hits on him. Ohio will help bring in the support, but he doesn't bring in the detection. They cannot see Moo. So mid one playing the vision game against Newbee, and it pays off.
Yeah, really nice slack control there from him, going back in, re-engaging after losing the Aegis and keeping the pressure up. Unfortunately, just didn't have the backup he needed, but this has bought a lot of time. Mushi going to have BKB for the next upcoming fight, so he's kind of back in this game a little bit. You've got Beastmaster, Necro, well, he could level up the Necro book, but it looks like he wants the Blink Dagger initiation as well, so you get the double blink on Mushi as well as Beastmaster, and every kind of subsequent Blink Dagger you're picking up, you get more value out of, because you've got the instant follow-up to your initiation. And this is where Fnatic, their lineup gets very scary and has a ton of pick-off potential.
Yep.
But picking off a Naga always a big challenge, because just finding the real Naga is a task in itself.
Yeah, and that's one of the tasks which has to be helped by Ohio. He needs to keep these side lanes pushed in, and making it so when Fnatic want to go for fights, they're not always saying, hey, maybe we have to come back. We're going to lose too much off one tower. We're going to lose too much off another. Let them actually run their gang squads. Let them have their mass blinks. And let mid one do his work. Now he's got that Echo Saber to go with the Silver Edge. Any opening he can possibly find. They just pounce and they use all of their burst damage if possible.
Yeah, there's quite a few good targets, and you ever catch a Lina, that's like a free kill in itself. Earth Spirit sometimes struggles to get away, but has picked up a Ghost Scepter. That's a lot of farm for Kaka playing that hero, but Fnatic are the ones who are still playing the aggressor role. Mushi not with his team for now, just completing his BKB back at base, so unlikely we see any push out of this top lane from Fnatic. And more importantly, Aegis having expired, they're going to be likely just picking and choosing their moments.
Wait for next for a shot. KP, you are a long way up. That's not an illusion. And they're going to take out KP. He moved that like it was an illusion.
Yeah, I mean, he's drawing lines on the map like, hey, I don't even know what he's thinking. I think that's KP just saying, like, look, guys, I screwed up. He walked right past an Observer Ward and multiple Observer Wards, and as a result, Fnatic just get a freebie.
It had to be Miss Margaret, right?
I think just completely more misreading the situation. Like, he saw multiple Fnatic heroes up in the top side of the map, and he's just expecting that he didn't walk past an Observer Ward. If he can get to that spot and Observer Wards don't see him, he has access to both mid and bottom lane with his illusions to creep skip behind the tower. So it's a really nice spot to be as a Naga, but you've got to get there undetected.
Well, he doesn't have that happen, and now the tier 2 tower is the trade-off. Heavy points up in auras, you got ready to push, and the ice wall has to come down. Defending it, the line to Newbee's tier 3 tower. Hao takes out the tier 1 tower on bot lane, so there's still trade-offs. And Fnatic will back up. Remember, they do not have Aegis the Immortal, and the Naga the Sirens respawn. The upside for them is, it's a pretty fast spawn over on Roshan. He'll be up in about 25 seconds.
Yeah, Fnatic just kind of saying, kind of like last game, happy to go late game this time around. They're in a much more even state, and they're not bursting a draft that's going to completely just blow the game wide open should they lose one fight. Last game it's like they lost one fight and suddenly Beastmaster, Venge, Lifestealer was breaking their high ground. This time around it's a much slower push out of Newbee. They've got the draft and lineup that's easier to execute and that's more forgiving. So Fnatic can keep finding these pickoffs, can play a slower pace, and if they ever find those big kills on Naga Siren, they get a tower, they get an objective off of it, they get a Roshan off of it, so...
It still feels odd the way we keep talking about this, because we keep saying, like, hey, we've got a lot of things that are working for Fnatic, especially in this mid-game we're currently in. But Newbee still have the top 2 net worths on the field. It still belongs to the Naga Siren as well as the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I think overall net worth, though, you've got kind of 4 good scaling core heroes on the side of
the
Fnatic.
jump, mid one's coming in right now. Where do they find the target? They swap back KP into the wall for the kick! It's perfect from Kaka! The follow-up will be there. KP song with the Siren, tries off the fun. He cannot do so, however. And now with the ball away, the Magnetizer will cause a couple of problems for Fnatic. But not too many, it's still a 1-for-1 trade-off.
So good from 343's Venge, immediately finding... All it took was the wave of terror for him to recognize which was the real Naga. There was 3 illusions next to that Naga, and he throws a wave, sees the health bars change, and then finds the real Naga, swaps into a Roar. The Venge actually played not by 343, but by DJ. Of course it's DJ making the big plays happen. 343 got the Roar, but that swap was really fast. Very quick reactions coming out.
Fnatic started up Roshan, but now they're going to leave. They do not want to finish the job. In fact, it looks like mid-1 wants to try and get a counter. He still regs up. He comes in and finds Swan right behind the line. Moo also wants to have a crack, but now is also How. They're isolated Kaka right in front of the pit. How's going to rage himself away. Kaka's Ghost Scepter is buying a little bit more time, but now it's Lifestealer being surrounded by 3 Fnatic players. He wants to actually get the kill with the Stone Strike. They're going to pick up 3-4-3. How stands the ground so heavily. This actually turns into a 2-on-2 trade-off with mid-1 claiming a double kill.
And
but that's 60 seconds without a Lifestealer.
Yeah, gem on the deck, so that goes with Fnatic. Newbee completely misread the situation. They think Fnatic's still in the Roshan pit. Earth Spirit rolled into Roshan with the infested Lifestealer. Nobody was home. Fnatic mid-1 had already gone for the flank, finds Lina, and Fnatic left the pit. That was such a good call from the Fnatic shot caller there to leave Roche at that time when they did, because Newbee were getting ready to come and completely shut that down, so...
Yeah, you thought it seemed odd. It's like, hey, you could have just taken an easy Aegis the Immortal. Instead, you take a solid fight against Newbee.
There's a DD rune at this bottom river too. If Fnatic can get their hands on that, it'll be a very fast Roshan, but it looks like Kaka will get in there in time.
And Newbee, the fact they also boulder in the way they did, they were ready to fight. They jump in and then you split up just because the Slark is right behind your line. They have to be able to keep closer tabs over on this Slark, but how do you do that when you've already lost your gem? And mid-1's very close. He's now 100 gold away from completing up a BKB. Not to mention, killing off Kaka. Wave of Terror forward. Kaka's basically paper at the moment to mid-1 Slark. But with the kick forward, paper fights back. There's a cut right now. Mid-1 still wants to finish the job. He's right behind him. There's the pounce forward. But support is arrived from Newbee. The Light Strike Array cannot connect from Chuan. So mid-1 gets back up the hill, and now they're pinging out. Now they want to go for Roshan. At the same time, Sunstrike scouts at the fact that Mushi is in there, and Song of the Siren is up. This is not an easy task for Fnatic.
But also very hard for Newbee. Without the Earth Spirit, he's their big AoE stun and silence for this Roche area, so you can Song them, but if you don't have the Earth Spirit to follow it up with the stun, it's very hard to contest.
That Naga illusion and the Forge Spirits are causing too many troubles. This is not worth it for Fnatic, because they may just do all the hard work for Newbee. Newbee take the fight, and all of a sudden they have Roshan, and this advantage the Fnatic have worked so hard to get over 2k net worth as well as experience. They're trying to hold this lead. They cannot afford a big mistake, especially one like Roshan, which will allow Newbee to have that extra life on a big core.
And that's the important thing for Fnatic. When they fight, they want to be initiating in, not when they're already being chipped away by the Naga illusions. They want to be going in with full HP, Aegis in their hands. If they can get on top of Newbee before like the illusion radiance chip damage starts kicking in, they're going to win the fight.
This is not that difficult to get rid of an Observer Ward. They have the Gem of True Sight. They need to send the Hawk back out again so they could just talon the damn thing down. Well, they're trying to give it to DJ. Okay.
They lose the Hawk though.
It's just the never-ending battle. Like, we commit Axis, we commit everything else to try to ensure it. Okay, so Fnatic, this is now the second BKB done over on Ohio. the level 3 Necro book from 343 as well.
It's their third BKB.
It's
they got one
coming
on Slack as well. So they've got triple BKB ready to fight. This is the ideal timing for Fnatic to secure themselves Aegis so that they can go for it. They want a high ground push. You get this triple BKB, you really want to fight and take it to your opponents, but not easy to do this against the Naga Siren. This is a hero that's always going to disrupt your push. Creep skip.
The China BKB is back again. Mid one is going to trigger it right underneath the Observer Ward too. So Newbee are very well aware that's now a 9-second BKB over on the Slark.
Whoopsie daisy.
That's right, 5-second BKBs are what you want anyway. Alright, so Fnatic grouping up behind their tier 2 tower. Been a while since they've really smoked aggressive out. They haven't really needed to.
They may need to find a pick-off before being able to secure themselves Roshan.
The problem is the Naga illusions keep coming in all the time and they can't get rid of them like quick enough.
The good news is they've got a hero that can stop the Naga split push in a higher Nature's Prophet.
Yep.
The Naga's more just annoying because it's the scouting and the damage output from those illusions that's really being pesky. Like they're not at risk of losing. Like they've still got all their tier 2 towers up. You're talking 32 minutes in against a Naga who had a really good Radiance timing and they've managed to not get split pushed at all.
I almost feel like right now Fnatic aren't hunting heroes, they're hunting wards. They're bringing the Beastmaster over. Wherever mid one can go, where he can find these observer wards, wherever Newbee have vision, he just pings out straight away, then they bring the support over. And this is actually causing Newbee to have a pretty dark map. It's all about the Naga illusions pushing out and the creep wave pushing out, which gives the vision inside the lanes, but beyond that, it's fairly dark.
Yeah, it really is just the Naga keeping map control and map vision up for Newbee at this point, which makes it very difficult for them to properly contest Roshan. They're never entirely sure if they're Roshing, if they're going for a smoke play. They can throw Sunstrikes out, but even that is a cooldown they have to play around, so...
Mushi's finally got his first damage dealing item. Considering he's fighting on a Radiant, he decided to go for the Monkey King pass and not going into the Chrysalis Daedalus or Desolator.
Not a bad option. There are 2 Ghost Scepters on Newbee, so would like to see a Diffusal Blade pick up at some point.
They're going to be very quick about this one, Fnatic, and they will be. Roshan is dying very quickly.
There's a glyph, they should be okay.
Yeah, it's just the tier 3 tower currently under attack. And Newbee, how long do you stay in around here? Fnatic already TPing in towards the mid lane. 343 and DJ are ready to go. But Newbee will back up at just the right time. Mushi will take care of the mid tier 2. And Ohio's adding pressure to the bottom lane, so this will probably force a response from Newbee, at least bringing one hero down to that bot lane.
Yeah, not a decent amount of damage on the tier 3 top.
Careful of the kick. He kind of knew what was coming, that's why he went straight for the Dark Pact. Wave of Terror will be a little bit shy there. Actually, it does connect over on the Earth Spirit. The mid one may have enough damage. They do! They find the kill, the Song of the Siren. Hold the fun! Hold the fun! We are going to TP back. All the way home.
No, he had swapped DJ! No! DJ! He could have swapped him! Oh!
Whoops. Sorry.
He was expecting the Lifestealer TP to go before the Nagas. I think Lifestealer started his first, but he was the second TP to a tower, so he had a very long TP, and that would have been a big kill on Lifestealer, who, I don't know if he spent his money after TPing, but he currently doesn't have buyback.
If they killed him right now, this would be potentially just the mid-racks.
Yeah. That would have been a massive pick-off, but can't find them all.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. The Assault Cuirass is now done over on the Lifestealer, because that money was not taken from him. And it's Newbee, who barely escaped the fight. But Fnatic go back into this whole map control kind of style. Looks like they're preparing to go up. I'm assuming there's actually a Vlad's build coming into Nature's Prophet with his Morbid Mask. It's a little late, but you can understand it if you're going up. Oh, KP. Hello again. He's able to dodge. Easy Manta-style dodge away from that magic missile.
And we can see the amount of pressure Fnatic's putting on. Like, there's so much kill potential out of their lineup right now.
Well, battling up in the river, but it's actually going to be... yeah, okay. No, I thought mid one for a moment was going to have a pounce.
And you can see now this is the frustration of playing support against Forge Spirits, Naga Illusions, and Sunstrike. You're like a half HP Venge out on the map, and you have to be so careful. You're always so afraid of just getting hit by a Sunstrike and taking out Beastmaster. Same story, so...
You need some base regeneration.
Yeah.
You need something to work. Maybe he could build the pipe for his team, so he's able to regenerate up a little bit.
And that's partly why Haya wants to just have some lifesteal with the Morbid Mask, is just so you have that sustain against the Naga illusions.
Yeah, that allows him to actually buy an item he wants to buy. Something to increase that range maybe for the initiation. It's going to be a 5-man smoke away from Newbee's wards. Newbee actually have, again, like no vision on the map. They have 2 sentry wards which were placed during the last fight, but they don't see anything else.
They got illusions. They're spraying them out too.
That's true.
Can they find a wave into swap here though?
There's
no swap hex, but
they need vision on the high ground before this can really even happen. Like the ball runs in and breaks the smoke.
Hey, they ping it too, so it looks like Newbee realized it was a smoked up boar. Not going to be a successful smoke out of Fnatic, and
Sean is running so base right now. Arcane's wand, he spends his money over on the gem and just has himself a Ghost Scepter. And it looks like, are they going to swap? Yeah, they're going to put the gem over on the Naga Siren, so it's now also cheap and no risk detection arriving from Newbee.
Fnatic could be in trouble here. There's a big movement towards this top lane.
It's only if they're ready to fight him. Slark's the one on the front lines. Sean's going to reveal himself with that Dragon Slave.
Yeah, that's the Aegis carrier, so not a hero that Newbee want to be initiating on by any means.
They obs and sentry underneath the Hawk, so you can say goodbye to that ward and sentry pretty quickly. So again, Newbee just can't keep the vision game. You're relying on Naga more than anyone else right now to understand where Fnatic is coming from. But there's only so many illusions she can create.
And Naga isn't going to like solo carry late game against Slark, Nature's Prophet TA. So you need your lifesteal is scaling well, but this is a lifesteal who's going to get kited, has to fight into the physical damage of 3 core heroes, has to fight into Raw, Swap, the Vengeful Spirit, amplifies physical damage as well as can be kind of that suicide save way, then you apply the Vengeance Aura to your opponent. So Fnatic's draft actually just gets stronger and stronger as this game goes on.
Yep. Well, say goodbye to the tier 2 tower. They still have that Aegis the Immortal over on mid 1. You'll have it for about another 20-ish seconds, and then it will be lost. Someone may also want to claim that 1,000 gold that's sitting in the Roche pit at the moment. There's a Ring of Aquila just sitting in Roshan.
I guess that's probably Mushi. Or Mushi, or actually the Slark who's been picking that up. So yeah, that's 500 gold he can sell it for.
I suppose mid 1 doesn't really feel like he's got financial troubles walking around with 5k. He's got a lot of money on this Slark.
Yeah. 500 gold can be the difference between buyback or no buyback, so.
Alright, so it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds until Roshan is up. So that's actually a fairly quick Roshan spawn timer. That's in the first minute of his 3 potential.
He's going to have a Skadi as well now, so mid 1 getting a ton of stats, very tanky on Slark. I feel like a Basher definitely will help him later on fight into the Lifestealer, but he's more worried about the illusions of the Naga Siren. Like their lineup already fights fantastic into the Lifestealer. It's more the Naga and even the Invoker and his damage potential that you want to really respect. So he's just prioritizing tanking up more and more.
And so many critical items to come their way. Like Newbee will be just wishing this Naga Siren was more like an alchemist at the moment. Someone that can actually give some of that net worth over. Because KP, like he's buying up what looks to be his butterfly at the moment. But he's already got Octarine, Diffusal, Radiance, Manta. Ooh. Once he's got that butterfly, then like there's only one more level up at Diffusal and he's basically stacked.
Talk about the Skadi. Mid 1 buys the Orb of Venom, but then changes his mind and picks up an MKB. So he wants to have that.
The true hit too.
Yeah, the true hit as well as a way to stop TPs. And that's really important when you're looking around for those pickups, that you can actually find them solo and not worry about your opposing carry just TPing themselves out.
As with the Echo Saber too, like your chances are a lot better.
And you also saw earlier on Naga had picked up a Talisman of Evasion. KP dropped the gem for the Talisman, so he knows that Naga was at least thinking about going into the Butterfly. But as I say that, it looks like KP's already sold the Talisman. So
okay, so he's changed his mind.
It's like
because would Butterfly even be enough at this point?
And there's 2 MKBs on your opposing team, so the item is purely for the Agi for your illusions at that point.
You'd have better luck having a heart on that hero at the moment. Mid 1 gonna move himself in. He's under the cover of that Shadow Blade.
He was spotted by the illusion.
Yep. And this is the downside for mid 1. With that Naga Siren, you can just see all with their illusions, but Fnatic, they're posturing. They want to come in, but they don't have everyone. They just pop us up on the top. Mushi explodes on the bottom lane. The blink away by 343. Newbee now going to try and capitalize on the situation right behind DJ. The attacks from Mu are going to be more than enough. Yep, there she is, the last 2. The Song of the Siren also isolating mid 1. Just a little bit. Okay, smack bang in the middle of Newbee. Lacuna Blade helps get the kill, but it's Hal who takes it. And 3 heroes from Fnatic on the sideline. Only one of them has buyback, and that is Mushi.
Newbee's burst damage there with that Infest Bomb, just insane. Completely catches Mushi by surprise. He doesn't even get off a BKB. He will buy back, but
they're coming up. The tier 3 tower is being attacked up on top lane thanks to the momentum the Nature's Prophet gave to it, but it won't matter. Newbee understands just how powerful they are. The fortification comes, but it comes after the tower has already gone down. Fnatic starting to buy out. It's a Monkey King bar as well. Nature's Prophet, the Raw comes forward, looking for Hal. He's low, but can they kill him off? No, the Infest will save him. Bakaka as well, KP. They're also dropping down low. Mushi, he can't afford to die right now. Mushi's gone. A minute and a half without him. Can they hold the line that goes into allow him to kite 3-4-3? The stun from Sean. 3-4-3's gone. Ohio, the Deathly Blast pushing him back. KP's right behind the Sprout. It can't stop anything. You've lost the Prophet. No buybacks. Fnatic, they can lose their base right now.
Oh, they've got 20 seconds still without the Slark. Ohio's so close to having 5 back, 140 gold short, but...
Can Slark do it? He's 1 man against 5.
He really can't, not with the buybacks, and he just gets blown up by the physical damage of the Newbee Lifestealer. If he's not careful, they're going to take out the tier 2 tower mid with How, and that exposes all 3 lanes, so Newbee can just get mega creeps here.
Oh boy, Fnatic, they had about a 6k lead. They had about 15,000 in the experience advantage. They were so patient, and 1 pick off. The Mushi explosion on bottom lane, followed up by the dive back under the tier 3 tower. DJ's gone as well. Newbee, they are ransacking this Fnatic base at the moment. Everything they want. You can ensnare, you can control up that Slark. He has to shadow dance himself away, but you're up against Megas practically. You can't defend this. The Song of the Siren, they call it. Fnatic are out. GG. Newbee will actually 2-0 Fnatic here in the best of 3.
Newbee through to the winner bracket finals, into the top 3 at the Manila Major, and a very convincing 2-0. A close game too, but it just felt like in the clutch, in those situations where it's kind of even, Newbee, they found opportunities. When it looked like it was Fnatic controlling the tempo of the game, Newbee's like, all it takes is that 1 pickoff at bottom, that 1 jump onto Mushi's TA, and suddenly, boom, game's over.
Yep, with no buybacks, no way to defend, and we're only having